Hey, I'm Jane, 19 years old, blonde fit. And let's be real, pretty darn attractive, if I do say so myself. I mean, I don't say it to brag. But when you've got long-toned legs from years of volleyball, a flat stomach that I've worked hard for, and a confidence that turns heads, you kind of know it right. I've got these bright blue eyes that people always compliment, and my hair's this golden wavy mess that falls just past my shoulders. Oh, and my chest. Let's just say I fill out a sports bra nicely, nothing crazy, but enough to make me feel good in my own skin. I'm a size 6.5 in shoes, tiny feet. I know, but they're mine, and I keep my toes painted with white polish all the time. It's my favorite always has been barefoot, is my vibe too. I hate socks like despise them. They make my feet feel trapped, and I'd rather feel the cool hardwood under me any day. Right now, I'm a freshman at UCLA, the University of California, Los Angeles. I'm majoring in kinesiology because I'm obsessed with fitness and how the body works. It's one of the best programs in the country, and I'm proud to be here. The campus is massive with these gorgeous red brick buildings and palm trees everywhere. My classes are tough but amazing, like we're learning about biomechanics and how muscles adapt to training. My professors are legit experts. One of them even worked with Olympic athletes. I'm on the women's volleyball team too, or I was until I messed up my ankle. Practice used to be my happy place 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, keeping me in killer shape. But now I'm stuck at home, hobbling around, and it's driving me nuts. So here's how it happened. Last week we were playing USC, our biggest rivals. I went up for a block, landed wrong, and bam, my ankle twisted under me. The pain shot up my leg like fire, and I hit the court hard. The crowd gasped, my teammates froze, and I just sat there clutching my foot, trying not to cry. Coach rushed over, and after a quick check, she said, "Jane, you're done for tonight. We're getting you looked at." I was devastated. Volleyball's my life, and now I'm out of commission. My ankle has been swollen ever since this ugly purple bruise creeping up my foot. I can barely walk, and it's killing me to sit still. Home's been a mess, too. I live in this cute little house in Santa Monica with my mom and my stepdad, Bob. It's close enough to UCLA that I can commute, but far enough that I've got some breathing room, except lately. There's no breathing room at all. Mom and Bob have been fighting like crazy, screaming matches that rattle the windows. Bob's this big, gruff guy, mid-for-S broad shoulders, always in flannel shirts like he's about to chop wood. He's not my real dad. My bio dad's been gone since I was 5, and Bob showed up when I was 12. We've never been super tight, but we've managed until now. Last night it all blew up. I was sprawled on the couch in my favorite pink pajamas, soft, loose ones with little white hearts on them, no socks. Obviously, my bare feet were up on the coffee table, white polished, shining under the lamp. My ankle was propped on a pillow, throbbing like crazy. I could hear Mom and Bob going at it in the kitchen. Her voice was sharp, slicing through the air. "I'm done." "Bob, I can't keep doing this," she yelled. I peeked around the corner and saw her dragging a suitcase down the hall. Bob was pacing, hands in his hair. "You're leaving now over this," he shouted, his voice booming. "What about Jane?" Mom stopped, spun around, and glared at him. "Jane's 19, Bob, she's fine. You figure it out." And then she was gone. Door slammed, car peeled out, and the house went silent. I sat there staring at my swollen ankle, my heart racing. Bob looked over and saw me. His face softened a bit, but he didn't say much at first, just sighed and sank into the armchair across from me. "You okay, kid?" he asked eventually, his voice rough but quieter. I shrugged, shifting my bad leg. "I guess what was that about?" He rubbed his face with both hands. "Your mom's. She's got her own stuff going on. I don't know, she'll be back maybe." Maybe I raised an eyebrow, wincing as I adjusted my foot. She took a suitcase. "Bob?" He didn't answer, just stared at the floor, awesome. So now it's just me and Bob, and I'm stuck with this busted ankle. Mom didn't text, didn't call, nothing. I don't even know where she went. Aunt Linda's maybe, who knows, this morning. Bob's up early, clattering around in the kitchen. I hobble in, still in my pink PJs, my hair a tangled mess, my ankles killing me, and I'm leaning on the counter for support. He's making coffee, dressed in his usual flannel and jeans. "Morning?" he grumbles, not looking up. "How's the ankle?" "Awful," I say, grimacing. I can't even stand on it. I've got a doctor's appointment at 11 UCLA Medical Center. He nods, pouring coffee into a mug. All right, I'll drive. You need help getting ready. I'll manage. I reply, hopping over to grab an apple. Thanks. Though he grunts classic Bob for you're welcome, we've never been the mushy type. But with Mom gone, it's like we're stuck figuring each other out. I glance at him. As he sips his coffee, he looks exhausted. Bags under his eyes. Shoulders slumped. I wonder if he slept. So I say, breaking the quiet, you think Mom's coming back soon. He shrugs, setting the mug down. Don't know Jane. She's pissed. Been pissed for a while. Guess we'll see great. I mutter, biting into my apple. Perfect timing with my ankle, and everything he looks at me, then really looks. And there's this weird pause where I feel like he's actually noticing me, not just the kid he's lived with for years. We'll get you fixed up today, he says. Finally, one thing at a time. I nod, but I'm nervous the house feels emptier without Mom's chaos, and I'm not used to it being just me and Bob plus. I'm terrified the doctor's gonna say I'm out for the season. Volleyball's everything to me without it. I don't know what I'll do. A couple hours later, we're in his beat-up Ford truck heading to the medical center. I'm still in my pink PJ top, but I threw on a black tank and leggings didn't bother with much since I'm injured. My bare feet are up on the dash, white polish catching the sunlight, my swollen ankle propped carefully. Bob glances over and shakes his head. You really hate socks. Huh, he says, almost smirking with a passion. I shoot back, wiggling my good toes. They're the worst. He chuckles, rare for him, and I smile a little. Maybe this won't be awful, just the two of us. We pull into the parking lot and he helps me hobble inside. The waiting room's packed, but we get called back pretty quick. The doctor's this tall guy with glasses. Dr. Patel, and he's all business as he examines my ankle. Moderate sprain, he says, pressing gently and making me wince. No fracture, which is good ice. It'll leave it and stay off it for at least 2 weeks. You'll need physical therapy too. Massage therapy will help with the swelling and mobility. Someone at home can do it if you've got a willing volunteer, or we can refer you to a specialist massage. I ask, raising an eyebrow, like rubbing my ankle exactly. Dr. Patel says, scribbling on his chart. It'll increase blood flow and speed healing twice a day, 10-15 minutes. I'll give you a handout with instructions. I glance at Bob, who's standing there looking awkward. Are you up for that? I ask, half joking. He scratches the back of his neck. I guess if it gets you back on the court. Faster. Perfect. Dr. Patel says, handing me the paper, rest up. Jane, no volleyball until I clear you back in the truck. I'm staring at the handout. Diagrams of how to massage an ankle with notes about pressure points. Bob's quiet, gripping the wheel, so I say, smirking, You're my personal masseuse now. Don't get used to it. He grumbles, but there's a tiny smile tugging at his mouth. Let's just get you home. We're back home now, and I'm hobbling through the front door, still in my pink PJ top, black tank, and leggings. My bare feet slap against the hardwood well. My good foot does the sprained ones, just kinda dangling, swollen and bruised. And I'm clutching that handout from Dr. Patel like it's a lifeline. Bob's behind me, carrying a bag with the ice pack and some pain meds. The pharmacy through in the house is quiet, too quiet, without Mom's usual chaos, and it's weird knowing it's just us now. I flop onto the couch, propping my bad ankle on a pillow. My white toenail polish catches the light, and I wiggle my good toes, trying to distract myself from the throbbing. Bob sets the bag on the coffee table and heads to the kitchen, muttering something about grabbing water. I stare at the handout again, those diagrams about massaging the ankle twice a day, 10-15 minutes, and Bob's supposed to do it. My stomach does this weird flip. I mean, he's my stepdad, not some spa guy. How am I even going to ask him? He comes back with a glass of water and hands it to me. You need anything else? He asks, his voice gruff as usual. I take a sip, my fingers tapping nervously on the glass. Well? I trail off, feeling my face heat up. Oh God, this is so awkward. The doctor said the massage thing, for my ankle. He said it should start today, and I don't know, maybe you could. My voice gets smaller with every word, and I'm staring at my lap like it's the most fascinating thing ever. Bob raises an eyebrow, leaning against the armrest. You want me to do it now? Yeah, I mumble, barely audible. If you don't mind, you don't have to. It's just, he said. It'd help, and I really want to get back to volleyball, and I cut myself off biting my lip. Why am I so embarrassed? It's just my ankle. He scratches the back of his neck, looking a little uncomfortable himself. All right, kid, let's see what we're working with. You got that paper. I hand him the handout. Still avoiding eye contact, he skims it, nodding to himself, then glances down at my feet. His eyes widen a bit, and he lets out this low whistle. Wow, Jane, you've got some nice feet there. Gotta say, I'm kind of looking forward to this massage gig. I blink, caught off guard when I laugh, my nerves easing a little. They're just feet. Bob, nah, they're dainty or something, he says, smirking, tiny too. Size 6.5, right, and that white polish looks good, makes them stand out. Okay, weirdo, I tease, rolling my eyes, but I'm smiling now, didn't know you were a foot critic. He chuckles that rare sound again and grabs a bottle of olive oil from the kitchen. Doc said, Oil helps, right? We don't have fancy stuff, but this will do. I nod, watching. As he sits on the ottoman in front of me and pulls my bad foot into his lap, he pours a little oil into his hands, rubbing them together, and I tense up. This is so bizarre. He's about to touch my foot, and I'm trying not to freak out. Ready? He asks, glancing up at me. Yeah, just go slow. Okay. It hurts a lot. He nods, and then his hands, big callous warm, wrap around my ankle. He starts gentle, following the handout, pressing his thumbs along the swollen spots. The oil makes it slippery, and the pressure stings at first. Ah, I gasp. Flinching too hard, he asks, pausing. No, keep going, I say through gritted teeth. It's supposed to hurt a little, right? He grunts and keeps at it, kneading the muscle, working the oil into my skin. Another. Slips out as he hits a tender spot, and I grip the couch cushions. But then slowly the pain starts to shift. The stiffness loosens, and the throbbing dulls. His hands move in the steady rhythm, up, down around the ankle bone, and I sink back into the couch, my eyes half closing. Better, he asks after a few minutes, his voice quieter now. Yeah. I breathe, almost surprised. Way better. Keep going. He smirks a little but doesn't say anything, just focuses on the massage. The oil's warm now and my foot feels slick and relaxed. The AW sounds turn into soft sighs, and I don't even care how weird this might look. It's working. My ankle doesn't feel like a balloon anymore. It's still sore but manageable. After about 15 minutes, he stops, wiping his hands on a towel. That good enough for now. I nod, stretching my leg out. Yeah, wow, Bob. You're actually good at this. Don't sound so shocked, he says. Standing up, I'll clean this up, you rest. Thanks, I call after him as he heads to the kitchen. I sit there for a minute, flexing my ankle. It's not perfect, but it's a million times better than before. I grab my phone and scroll for a bit, still in my pink PJs, feeling oddly calm later that night. I hobbled to my room and collapse onto my bed, still barefoot. Of course, the hardwood's cool against my soles as I stretch out my pink pajamas, bunching up around my legs. I pull the blanket over me and stare at the ceiling, replaying the day. Mom's gone, Bob's stepping up, and my ankle's got a fighting chance. I feel lighter somehow. God, that massage was amazing, I muttered to myself, smiling. I'm so relaxed. I roll onto my side, tucking my hands under my pillow. Got to ask him for another one tomorrow. Maybe twice, like the doc said. My eyes drift shut and I'm out within minutes, dreaming of volleyball and bare feet on the court. It's the next evening and I'm finally home after a long day. At UCLA, classes were brutal. Biomechanics is no joke, and I spent half the lecture doodling volleyballs in my notebook, daydreaming about getting back on the court, my ankles still sore. But that massage from Bob yesterday. Total game changer. I've been hobbling less today, and I'm dying for another one. I push through the front door, still in my black leggings and a fitted UCLA hoodie, my blonde waves tied up in a messy bun. No shoes obviously kicked those off. The second I got in my bare feet, hit the hardwood, white polish gleaming, and I wiggle my toes, savoring the freedom. Socks never an option. Hate him with every fiber of my being. Bob's already home, sprawled in the armchair with a beer still in his flannel and jeans the TV's on some sports channel, but he mutes it when he sees me. "Hey kid, how's school?" "Exhausting," I groan, flopping onto the couch and propping my bad ankle on the coffee table. "But good. My prof was talking about tendon recovery today." "Kinda relevant, huh?" I nod at my foot. He grunts, eyeing my ankle. "How's it?" "Holding up. Better since yesterday." I say, flexing it a little. "Still hurts though," I bite my lip, that familiar embarrassment creeping in. "Could you maybe do another massage like last time?" He sets his beer down, smirking, already hooked. "Huh, all right, let's see those fancy feet again." I laugh. Scooting back so he can sit on the ottoman like before, he grabs the olive oil from the kitchen and settles in, pulling my foot into his lap. As he pours the oil and starts rubbing, I notice something. His eyes keep flicking to my feet, lingering a little longer than yesterday. He's kneading my ankle, thumbs, pressing into the swollen spots, and I catch this faint, almost dazed look on his face, like he's affected by it weird. But then again, he did say they were nice last time. "Ah," I flinch. As he hits a tender spot and he pauses too much, he asks, glancing up. "No, keep going," I say, wincing. "It's good pain." He nods and keeps at it, the oil slacking up my skin. His hands are steady working, the stiffness out, and soon the AW turns into a soft sigh, my ankle loosening up, and I sink into the couch, eyes half closed. Bob's quiet, focused. But then he chuckles out of nowhere. What I mumble, peeking at him, "You know," he says, still massaging, "I'm banning socks in this house. No exceptions, look at those feet. Why did anyone cover them up?" I grin, wiggling my good toes. Fine by me, I already hate them. Worst invention ever. My feet deserve to breathe. "Damn right they do," he laughs, giving my ankle a final rub before wiping his hands there. "Good as new, well, almost, thanks," I say, stretching my leg out. It feels amazing, warm, relaxed, way less puffy. I sit there for a second, basking in it, but then this idea pops into my head. Yesterday was great, but my whole body's been tight from limping around. Maybe he could, I don't know, do more. My face heats up, just thinking about it. Oh God, how do I even ask? Bob? I start, my voice small. I'm fidgeting with the hem of my hoodie, avoiding his eyes. Yeah, he leans back, raising an eyebrow. Could you maybe do something a little more? A special, I blurt, then cringe. That sounded dumb. I mean, not special. Special, just different. He tilts his head, curious, different. How I swallow hard, my cheeks burning like my lower back's been killing me from hobbling, and my hips are all stiff too. Could you maybe massage those sometime? I rush the words out, staring at my lap like it's a lifeline. He blinks, clearly caught off guard, but then he nods slowly. Lower back and hips. Huh? Yeah, I can do that. Gotta keep you in fighting shape for that court. Right. Really, I peek up, relieved. You. Don't think it's weird? Nah, he says. Shrugging, Doc said, "Therapy's therapy. Dim me half an hour. I'll finish this beer and set up the table or something. We'll make it work." Cool, I say, smiling shyly. Thanks, Bob. He grunts, grabbing his beer again, and I lean back, heart racing a little. Half an hour. Okay, this is happening. Half an hour ticks by, and I'm still on the couch, sprawled out in my pink pajamas with the little white hearts. My hoodie off now, just the PJ top and leggings, and my bare feet are dangling over the armrest, white polish, catching the dim light from the lamp. I've been scrolling on my phone, trying to distract myself from the nervous flutter in my stomach. Bob's been banging around in the kitchen, and I hear him rummaging through drawers before he finally walks back in, holding that same bottle of olive oil. All right, kid, he says, setting it on the coffee table. Let's get this done. Scoot over a bit. I sit up, heart thudding, and slide to one side of the couch so he's got room. You're really doing this? Huh. I say, half teasing, half nervous. Promised I would. He grunts, sitting beside me. He pours some oil into his hands, those big rough hands, and rubs them together, the faint scent of olives filling the air. Lie back, okay, on your side or whatever's comfy. I. G, node shifting so I'm lying on my side, my bad ankle propped on a cushion. My pink PJ top rides up a little, exposing the small of my back, and I tug at it self-consciously. Bob doesn't say anything, just leans in, and before I can brace myself, gently lifts the hem a bit higher to get at my lower back. His oily fingers brush my skin and I yelp. Ah, you're so fast. He freezes one hand, hovering, whoa, easy. There he says, his voice low and steady, calm down. Jane, I'll go slow. Al, right, just relax. Okay. I breathe, laughing nervously. Sorry, it just surprised me. He chuckles a soft rumbling sound and nods no rush. Let's take it easy. His hands start moving, then slow and careful, pressing into my lower back. The oil's warm from his palms, and he works it in with these gentle circular motions. My muscles are tight, tighter than I realized from limping around, and the pressure feels, wow, like really good. Your tense is hell. Back here, he mutters, thumbs digging into a knot below my spine. Volleyball's beating you up. Huh. Yeah. I mumble, my face half boo in the couch cushion, or maybe it's just life. Lately, he grunts in agreement, sliding his hands a little higher than back down. Well, this will loosen you up. How's it feel? Amazing. I admit, my voice soft. Keep going. He does, moving to my hips next. He's careful, keeping it respectful, just the sides where the stiffness is settled from, favoring my bad leg. The oil slicks over my skin and his fingers knead out the ache, slow and steady like he promised. I let out this involuntary sigh, sinking deeper into the couch. My eyes flutter shut, and I'm not even embarrassed anymore. It's too good, way better than I expected. The house is quiet, just the sound of his hands working and my breathing slowing down. Still okay? He asks after a while, his voice quieter now. I murmur, barely awake. So good, Bob, don't stop. He chuckles again but keeps going, and I'm drifting. The pain in my back and hips melts away, and my whole body feels light, like I'm floating. I don't even notice when his hands slow to a stop. I'm already out, slipping into this warm, fuzzy sleep. The last thing I feel is the couch dipping a little, but I'm too gone to care. Bob must have finished, because when I'm half dreaming, I sense him shifting closer. He doesn't say anything, just pulls a throw blanket over me and settles in beside me on the couch. His arm drapes over my shoulder, heavy but comforting, like he's making sure I'm safe. I don't wake up enough to react. I just let it happen, too relaxed to move. He's warm, solid, and for once the house doesn't feel so empty. We both drift off like that, tangled in this weird, quiet moment, sleeping through the